Um, okay, so it is soon summertime, right? And we want to plan things.
I'm sorry. It's just funny to see you kind of go. It's like watching Carrie Strug at the end of the mat, and she's like she's like prepping herself to do her round off back handspring back tuck. But it's a grown man doing a podcast. And this is Gatriarchs. So I have some advice for you, Gavin.
Is this what we've come to?
Yeah. It's the student becomes the teacher.
The the unsolicited advice portion of our journey here.
So
okay.
One of the ways I feel like I do work or set work for later is I'll see something and I'm like, I need to do that. And I'll screenshot it. And then I will email that screenshot to myself. So when I'm sitting in front of a computer, it's an email that I can do, delete, and go. That's just like my personal system.
The many layers of trying to get through the to-do list, but that makes sense.
The problem is that I often do it while I'm peeing. So I'm like, oh, I need to screenshot that. And for the guy next to me at the urinal, he hears screenshot noise and then email, and then I zip up. So maybe turn
the whoosh of your urine stream and the whoosh of the email being sent.
For sure. And so I think the advice I have is if you're going to be doing work while your dick is out, make sure that your sound is off. So that's how I wanted to start this really elegant episode of Gatriarchs, was just a little piece of advice.
I will take your unsolicited advice, and I'm going to give you some unsolicited advice as well.
Okay.
Speaking of dicks and urinals and bathrooms and taking pics.
Quality podcast, guys. Quality high-end podcast.
Years ago, I was at a bachelor party where a buddy of mine came running out of the bathroom, actually the bachelor, and he comes running out and he's like, you guys, you won't believe this. A dude fell asleep in the urinal. And I'm like, what? And I went in, and there was a guy who was apparently so drunk. Somehow, I don't know, I do not know how this happened, but I do have picture evidence of it somewhere. A dude had just like slumped over with his head in the urinal.
No.
With his head in the urinal. Head in the urinal. And I took a picture of it. And then he came to, I don't know if I was in there or if I don't think I was a good enough person to actually help him or wake him up. I was a bad enough person that I just took a picture and laughed about it.
We know.
But somehow he came to, and he started to leave, and I ran up to him. And this was, oh my God, this was a long time ago. But it wasn't exactly like you couldn't just airdrop something. But I ran up to the guy. I mean, he was shit-faced, right? And I say to him, hey, buddy, you fell asleep in the urinal, and I took a picture of it. I want to send it to you because you'll laugh about it someday. And he goes, dude, I do that shit like all the time, and just walked away.
Urinal naps? He does urinal naps all the time? I can think of maybe one or two other places that are more disgusting than your face in a urinal. Nothing good is there.
Yes. No,
just
nothing.
Piss and strangers' pubes, which I guess some people are into. But that sounds
no judgment.
Fucking awful.
But it was one of the, I mean, I will be in diapers one day and remember that. I will have forgotten everything about my life, but I will remember that time that I saw a dude who just passed out in a urinal.
Was it like a throwaway camera and you had to like click it back and then send it to Walgreens in like a little paper envelope?
So I wanted his address, his mailing address, so he could send him copies because I was going to get doubles.
You're 1,000 years old.
Oh, always. So summertime is just on the horizon. Do you feel like you're officially in summer?
No, because it's still really nice outside. It's like, minus the thick plumes of smoke that we're breathing in. But
so you associate summer with oppressive heat.
Correct.
That is not fun.
No,
okay.
Look, summer is my least favorite season. It's my husband's favorite season. It's the only time we argue because he's like, let's go outside. I was like, no, there's no air conditioning outside. No.
Well, summer always makes me think of, yes, having no schedule and no routine whatsoever, which actually does drive me crazy. But also the sense of like, oh, I need to get out and enjoy this because it's summertime and I have social obligations that I need to get out and enjoy. And it reminds me of how often we try to have picnics outside. And by we, I mean society, right? Like we all think we should be outside eating all the time. Yeah. But going outside to eat is a pain in the ass. Like, your hot dog is cold and your beer is warm kind of thing. And none of the food is ever actually good unless maybe you're having a pizza, but does anybody want a hot, greasy pizza outdoors when it's sunny? And
your picnic menu sounds like Fenway Park. Like,
in a good way.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be better. Just basically paying somebody else to just hand you pre-made food, as opposed to thinking I'm going to pack everything and go out to the. I just find it.
Are you proud that I remembered the name of a stadium? Are you like, because like I literally was like going through. I was like Wrigley Field, Fenway Park. Fenway Park sounds a little more like different, so I'm going to use that one.
Mm-hmm.
And people are going to think I'm sporty.
The listeners in Connecticut are definitely going to appreciate that, but nobody thinks you're sporty.
Okay.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody whatsoever. So don't worry. Your reputation for
Except for my Spice Girls costume for Halloween. Then I'm sporty.
Okay, so anyway, so I'm reminded of people who have their like Pottery Barn and Crate and Barrel picnics that just look so perfect with a blanket and like multiple bowls of food, but when you do it with kids, it's such a pain in the ass,
Chaos.
especially with little kids.
Yeah.
I was invited to a picnic, admittedly years ago, where I know that the host just wanted an Instagram-worthy shot, and I'm like, I have two monsters that I'm bringing to this middle of Central Park. I'm already sweating my balls off.
Because getting there is a nightmare. Getting somewhere with kids, and then you're also lugging like gingham plates and a fucking wicker basket. No, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and your tripod to get that perfect shot. But also, you had to prep the food, which means that you were neglecting your kids in the first place to get the food because it either needs to be cold or it needs to be hot. Packing it and then packing the kids and all of it. Like, I am so angry with Pottery Barn and Crate and Barrel and all the like who make that Don Draper sense of the 1950s picnic ideal something that we want to aspire to. Because frankly, just give me a beer and a Subway sandwich and call it a day. Do you picnic?
No, it's like, because you need, like you said, you need a staff. If you want something like that, you want a staff. So there's two problems with that. Number one is what you said, which is like the realities and logistics of having young children at a fucking unfenced area is impossible. But also, my aesthetic is that I don't like eating outdoors on a blanket where my ass is getting a little wet. It's too hot. Nothing tastes good. You just feel like you're just trying to get through it. I was like, why are we doing this? I when it comes to summer, I'm a fall girl, as we know. Pumpkin spice lattes and an oversized sweater.
Yes. You and your PSLs.
Oh my God, PSLs and a spruce candle. Oh fuck yeah. So I love it's a little too cold, but if we put on a sweater, it feels perfect. When it's the middle of summer and people are like, let's go outside to consume fucking chips. No, thank you. Also, my memory of like outdoor eating is always like Lay's potato chips covered in like chlorine water. No, chlorine water, because it's always next to a pool, like it's a pool party, and every time you put your hand in the bowl, everything tastes like chlorine.
Somebody else's wet hands, like Jimmy's wet hands, went in the bag, and you're like, you ruined the Lays, and now they're wet. And
so what's the dream picnic for you? What's the perfect picnic for you?
Okay, well, first of all, I would have 8-pack abs and be shirtless the entire time.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
What is my ideal picnic? Hanging out with my friends and getting drunk.
Mm-hmm.
No kids. David, what is your ideal picnic?
In my cold basement, alone, watching Succession. Okay, let's move on to our top 3. Now, this was my list this week, and the top 3 list was top 3 things that are adorable when a little kid does it, but not so cute when an adult does it. And not cute. So number 3 for me is having conversations while you poop. My kid loves an audience. He loves somebody with him while he poops, and he loves to talk about Spider-Man and the world and Ukrainian politics while he's pooping. So number 3, pooping conversations. Number 2, staying in the bathroom, peeing at the urinal with your pants around your ankles. That is so fucking cute when a kid does it. And if I walk into a bathroom and a grown-ass man is doing that, I'm out.
You know what? The last time I remember seeing something like that happen, actually, I remember being in elementary school and seeing like a 4th grader do it and think, dude, I think you're too old to be doing that. Actually, legit.
Yeah. And number 1 for me, that is cute when a kid does it, but not an adult, eating a cupcake by just biting into it like a fucking psychopath. When a kid does it, it's so cute. They get a little frosting on their nose. When an adult does it, I'm like, listen, you monster, pull the bottom off and make it into a cupcake sandwich like the rest of us. My God.
Do you really make a cupcake sandwich? I mean, I agree with you.
100%.
When adults bite into and try to get their mouth over the entire thing,
it's
we
like a
look
snake trying to
ridiculous.
like eat an alligator.
This cupcake sandwich thing perplexes me. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that.
Gavin, I have so much to teach you in your few remaining years on Earth. What is your top 3 list?
Okay, so number 3 for me, believe it or not, is barfing.
Ugh.
I think it's kind of cute when my kids puke. I mean, the times that they've like barfed in my lap or over my shoulder, I'm like, oh, my heart goes out to them. Okay, I'm not a triggered barfer either. I can deal with it. I can deal. So,
but
I
it is
think it's
cute
kinda
when they're sick and they're so cuddly. Yeah. Barfing, no thanks.
But as an adult, no. You crawl.
Get away from me.
You crawl your own ass to the bathroom and
I don't want to hear it. Turn on loud music. Flush as you're puking.
Number 2, spaghetti mouth. I mean, a little kid with their mouths just
so
full
cute.
of spaghetti and like
So
the
cute.
spaghetti coming out of their mouth and the tomato sauce all over their lips. It's cute. Now, adults who do that?
Yeah, like
Oh
you're
my
like, sir,
God.
you're gonna have to leave this Olive Garden if you keep eating like this.
I mean, it really is. Public eating etiquette is actually really shocking. We should have a base standard at the least, and spaghetti mouth is not allowed after age 4. And then finally, number 1. Hey, I am all about body positivity. I love the human body, but naked dancing is not cute for
Adults.
But
a little kid, yeah.
Oh, come on. Little kids naked
So cute.
dancing. So good.
Totally fucking
So
cute.
good.
That's a great
All
list. What's next week's list going to be?
Well, it is summer.
Okay. It's
And
very
it is-
hot.
And it is hot. Exactly. I think we should talk about the 3 things that are hotter than summer.
I want to first talk about Gavin's weird, sexy lean-in voice. Like, what was that? You like literally leaned into the mic. You lowered your volume.
Okay, fine. I'll never be like a 1-800 number voice over person. Fuck me.
Not with that syntax, you're not. All right, that sounds like a good list. Let's do it. Our next guests are 2 travel-obsessed gays who are currently knee-deep in the surrogacy process to become dads. They come from the land of lesbians, Portland, Oregon, and have built a considerable social media presence online, starting with them meeting over their coming out videos on YouTube. They are laughing at my jokes right now. You can't see it, but they are currently laughing and covering their mouths. Please welcome to the show, Michael and Matt.
Michael and Matt.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We just had a fun little talk before I hit record, so I don't know how we're going to get any of that
I'm
stuff
already
in. But
crying.
tell us about your coffee regimen, boys.
Oh,
What's
God.
going on with the coffee?
This is a point of contention to start off with in the morning.
Yeah, Matthew. I don't know. I make coffee every single morning. When I go to work at the dental clinic. I wake up at 5. I make coffee. He gets to wake up at like
Oh, you're so good.
7 or whatever, and then walk out.
Lounging.
And there's just a pot ready for him.
It's
and
like
he gets
magic.
To come
I
sit
wake
on the
up, it's there.
couch.
Yeah.
By that time, I'm like already at the clinic doing doing my job. And then when he wakes up before me, I'm like, "Did you make coffee?" He's like,
Okay.
There's
Okay.
coffee that's hot. Do you want it?
Here's
it's
the
from
thing.
yesterday, and I'm like, I absolutely do not want that.
Oh, all right.
I want you to make coffee for me when I'm not waking up at 5 a.m.
Some people may think this is disgusting, but
Disgusting.
when you have leftover coffee, you have like so much. Like I mean, I have like 8 cups left in that pot. Am I gonna toss 8 cups away? That's like
Matthew's the king of
$3
hyperbole.
or something. So like, let's save a little
2
bit
cups.
of money.
2 cups.
2 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups, whatever.
8 cups.
8 cups. It's more like 8 cups. So,
But there's got to be some magical recipe out there for turning that into really good iced coffee. Because frankly, when you spend $6 getting iced coffee elsewhere, it's never any good. So how can it be any worse just with your leftover coffee?
I am that girl. I'm the girl who was like, because I only drink iced coffee. I'm just listen. If you're gonna be gay. But like I was doing that. We had a pot and I would pour it into like a big pitcher and then it's never as good.
No,
it's never as good. It's too acidic. think it's too. Anyway,
Yeah, I
we're
think
really
that-
starting strong, guys.
This
with
is great.
A
This is
iced
great.
coffee conversation.
But I think that there's
before
definitely
Damon.
there are metaphors to be found here in parenting and the path that they're about to hear. I mean, David, as you hear them talking, I'm like, oh, I hear that like when I get up at 5 and then somebody else lounges till 7, but when he gets up at 5
We
and
need to listen
you're
back
like,
to this conversation in a few years because I think we're preempting a few things.
Well, this will be in the divorce decree. I think this video in particular will be for the grounds. No, but seriously, you are, if you're penny pinching, that's really smart because you
Yep.
guys are in the middle of the surrogacy process.
We
Is that
are.
correct?
Thank you.
Yes, we are.
Thank you for seeing the value in something that seems so ridiculous to do in the morning.
Tell us a little bit about where you guys are in the process right now. Did you just start? Are you pregnant? Where are you at?
Oh man. Okay. So we've been doing surrogacy for a year and a half now. And we have embryos. We have, I think, 5 of them. And we are looking for a surrogate. So we're like, yeah, like you said, knee deep in the surrogacy journey.
Yeah, I was like, that's a loaded question to ask. Like, are you just beginning? Because like 6 months into this process is like sort of just beginning, right? Like,
Totally.
you,
Could be,
like,
yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
anything. So like,
Because there's like contracts and there's
Yeah,
egg
totally.
retrieval and donors
All of
and
that.
all of the things. Yeah, but and when straight people say like we're trying, it's like you're telling me you're fucking. Like I don't know what like that like.
I love
but
that
so
so
like
much.
that's the only process. That's the only process they're into. For us,
Right, I
yeah,
know.
we're in the middle of contracts. We're negotiating with a whatever. But so you
and,
guys
and the quick jerk off is just one teensy bit of it. The ejaculation
is.
part is very,
listen,
very
guys
little.
guys have to do
Right.
things too. But you guys are kind of surrogacy is kind of financially at least can be split in half, right? Like there's the
Totally.
creating the embryos IVF side of it, and then once those are frozen, you have a little bit of time if you want to recover financially. I know some people that the process is extraordinarily expensive,
Yeah.
but now you guys are searching for a surrogate. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, we
100%.
are.
We are looking and no luck yet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're out there and listening and happen to be a female who wants to have a baby but not your own, let us
Yeah.
know.
Not that we've not
What?
had any inquiries.
I was
We-
going
Right.
to say, surely this is like online dating. So how's that
yeah,
been?
we've had actually quite a few, people message us,
Soft inquiries.
of just like, I live here, I haven't been a surrogate, or I have been a surrogate, and I have this many kids, and I do this for work, and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And
There's so many factors to consider in there. And I think like one of the biggest things for us is just like distance wise, how far away are they?
Absolutely.
We would really love to find somebody who's we live in Portland, Oregon. So Oregon or Washington, Northern California, somewhere where it's like close enough where we feel just a little bit more involved and able to be there.
I didn't have that thought at the beginning. I sort of just thought, oh, it won't really matter. We fly all the time, like we can just fly to wherever it works best. And then now I'm like, that's really inconvenient. And I would be really nice if we were doing this more in our backyard.
Inconvenience is one way of putting it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's true. I just had this conversation. A listener reached out to me yesterday, and he was talking about like, I would really love to know about what it feels like to be quote unquote pregnant, but there's not a growing belly around you. And I was saying,
Right.
it is a weird part of being gay men in this process is that there is this weird kind of 9 months of lead up for people who see this belly growing where you can kind of like, there's a visual
Oh, yeah.
kind of ticked, a clock ticking. And for us, both of our surrogates were in Portland actually, and we live in
wow.
the New York City area. So we would visit and we went to a couple doctor's appointments, but there was not this thing in our house. It was just one day we were parents, and it is totally
Wow.
weird and different.
It's very on brand also for this era too. Unfortunately, it's like you just order
Yeah.
something on Amazon and suddenly it shows up and you don't actually see it happening, which is too bad.
Maybe you guys should join Amazon Prime. Maybe that's what you need. Is Prime.
Is there an
Yeah.
Amazon Baby?
Yeah,
there's Amazon
probably.
Prime
You
Video,
know it.
Amazon
Yeah.
Prime. there's
if
got to be
Jeff
Amazon Prime
Bezos,
Baby.
I would not put it past.
Not
Just
at
a
all. And
drone appears outside your house and drops a baby off like a stork. I mean,
it's the new stork and it's the new delivery service.
The
so,
new Amazon
sure.
surrogacy
That'd be
agency.
amazing.
My God.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Did you guys do IVF in Oregon as well?
We did everything in Oregon. Yeah, we so our first surrogate was my sister-in-law. Shout out to Erin, my sister-in-law, who's amazing in a lot of reasons, but also she was our first surrogate, and so she lived there. So we knew we were going to use her. We had already agreed to it, so we were just like, well, we might as well get our egg donor there, all of our contracts. We just kind of did all of that. So when we were ready for the second time, we knew that all of our stuff just lived in Portland. So we tried to find a Portland surrogate, and we did. Amy, shout out to Amy, who's also a listener.
All right.
And so it ended up working out really well. Like that was the reason we were in Portland, no other reason. And I think sometimes when people start, they're like, I don't like. You just kind of wherever the people are, wherever the egg donor is, and you guys I think are with an agency as well. So wherever your agency works. So you guys actually met over your coming out videos on YouTube, isn't that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
That happened.
Tell me the length of time from when you first spoke to each other to when one of you was on a flight. I would like to know the time frame of that.
I think it was
3 weeks.
no, it was 4 weeks, 4-ish weeks.
Ish weeks.
And then you were on a plane.
Yeah. So I think
Michael was living in Nebraska.
communication was established on like May 1st or 2nd, probably. And then
Correct.
I was on a plane June 4th to
All right.
Seattle. So it was, I think that's
Was it really
exactly,
June 4th?
almost
That
exactly
late?
4 weeks.
My God.
That's a great leap of faith,
was.
though. I mean, talk about a brave move. And
Because you could have shown up and this person not be a real person or ghosted you or whatever.
Him be not a
Yeah.
real person. I mean,
Yeah.
he had an online presence.
I'd have to be very good at catfishing.
For like 5-ish years.
Mhm.
So that was part of it. I was like, I can go back and I can see like so he's at, his university or whatever. He's talking about being at college. Like he's talking about being in Seattle.
Michael did his research.
I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, also he didn't seem very suspicious, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't just strike me.
They
as
never
very,
do.
like catfishy.
They never do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never actually admitted our feelings for one another
until we met
in person.
So it was 4 weeks of like 3-hour Skype sessions.
And why did you fly across the country? Was it? Well, I was going to say, like, you were flying out to make out, or were you flying out to be like, I don't know what else to do with my life, so I'm going to go meet this person in real life?
That's a good question.
So I had like dipped my toe into the YouTube space, right? Like earlier that year. So he had been on YouTube for like 6-7 years probably. And I had just like kind of discovered this whole world of YouTube right after I came out, and I watched a bunch of coming out videos, and then I found out people had channels. And so anyways, there's this whole snowball effect. And then I saw his coming out video, and then he posted a 1 year after encouraging other people. So then I posted, and then we connected, and I was like, I feel like we have so much in common. He was kind of on track to go to med school at that time. I was going to dental school in the fall. I had like kind of tried, I was on a gap year. I kind of dipped my toe into the YouTube universe. I was like kind of interested, like, do I just need to cut this off like once dental school starts? Or I need to, they were telling you at that point, like, erase your presence online. People are going to find something stupid and fire you or not hire you or whatever. It'll be this whole scandal. And so I was like, not really sure what to do with this whole social media thing. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe I can ask him, because we seem like we have a lot in common. We were both raised Catholic. We came out, in our 20s, that sort of thing. And so for me, it was like, I just want to like, I don't know, I need a sounding board. I just kind of come out, and I was like ready to ask him all the questions about things that I thought we could relate on.
And did
And
he
then-
ask?
And then there was this, oh my God.
What were some of the questions he asked?
Oh no.
Oh my.
Matthew's just being stirring the pot.
Well,
But there was a YouTube convention in like August in Seattle. And I was like, oh, well, this would be kind of a neat way to meet. And I was like, well, I'll just meet you, I'll plan on coming out in August for like this vlogger fair. And then he responded with like, what if I want you to come out sooner?
Oh,
So then I was like,
sweet. Did he do it in that
Oh.
voice? That was
that's
really
how I
sweet.
read it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's that voice
Kind
exactly,
of. That's
but
probably what
pretty
it-
close.
Yeah.
And then you met, and then you fell in love.
That's why it ended up being somewhat
Basically, yeah.
sooner.
Long story short, it's like we met and we fell in love.
Yeah.
That is very
Instantly.
sweet.
I think we
That's
said I love
amazing.
you on like the third day.
Mhm.
hanging
Oh.
out.
I mean, you guys really are absorbing this lesbian
Lesbians.
culture. You
Yes,
guys are
lesbians.
just
Portland
moving
are
in right
that.
away.
We are
just
exactly
fast
where we were meant
forward.
to be.
I was even driving a Subaru.
See, that's what I'm saying. I have a Subaru Ascent parked outside my house right
And
now.
honestly,
I'm fully embraced all the
All I
lesbians.
wear are Birkenstocks, or I'm
That's true.
barefoot. So that's it.
That's true.
I'm bringing this back to the gay shit now, all right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Bring it back.
when I had to fill out a questionnaire about being a parent, they said, what is your biggest fear about being a parent? And to this day, it is the same one, which is I'm afraid I will never backpack across India. I really want to
Very
travel to
specific.
India,
Okay.
but I
that makes
really
sense.
want to. I've romanticized the idea that I get to be on a train and I get to go across, and I'll never have the runs, and all the food's going to be great. and they said the agency said, well, you can do it. You'll just have a kid strapped to your back, and I'm like, no. I don't
Absolutely not. That's so funny. Like, wait, next month, although when this episode airs, I'll have already gone, but we're going to Scotland for a week. And guess what? We're not bringing the fucking kids.
Yeah.
Shout out to my sister who's coming up to watch the kids, because I had the same thing where I was having like a little bit of a midlife crisis, and I was like, why do we not travel? We keep saying, it's so hard with the kids. Maybe next year. I was like, I'm gonna maybe next year until I'm 50, and then I'm not gonna have done anything, and then I'm gonna be too tired to do anything. So I was like, we're going to Scotland for a week. So I guess by the time this episode airs, we have just come back. So
how was your trip?
Scotland was great.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. We saw
Scotland was amazing.
castles. We saw Harry Potter.
And mainly, we didn't have your. Did you miss your kids?
Who?
So guys, Michael and Matt, you guys have been traveling now for a long time and a lot of traveling. And you partly want to be dads because you're tired of the traveling, or do you want to take babies along for the ride?
Kind of both. I'm really enjoying my time in Portland right now, but I mean, we're entering into summer. Things are a little bit better than when they are in the winter.
Yeah.
So that has something to do with it. But yeah, we've traveled so much over the last few years, which has been incredible. And then at the same time, we're like kind of burnt out by it.
Yeah.
It's I love traveling. I love exploring like new parts of the world and experiencing new things. But I also liked to recharge a little bit, and we just went really hard at the beginning of this year, and both of us are like, we're good. Like, we're good for the year. Like, we went like 5 or 6 different places
I feel like
in 3
it's
months.
almost sinful to say this as a gay guy, but I'm like, I just want to stay home.
Well, no, I think because part of it is, honestly, I think the real part is you guys are getting older, which is not like you guys are old, but like as you've done your young 20s travel,
Right.
like it becomes less desirable. And, you know, as I said earlier in the episode, laying down in your cold basement watching Succession by yourself sounds real fucking nice.
Fantastic.
So no, I totally get that. I want to talk a little bit about social media, because you guys, so Michael, you're a dentist, Matt, you're a writer and a vlogger and a photographer and stuff. But like another business that you guys do is social media. And I feel like it's easy to be like, oh yeah, I'm on social media, that's my business. But I want to know, what does it actually fucking mean? Like, how do you actually make money being existing online? Like I'm curious, and I guarantee you people who are listening are like, okay, but like you don't have to tell us obviously the numbers, but like I know that like you can be in the creator fund on TikTok, but what does it actually mean?
This is a giant Pandora's box with a lot of answers.
Yeah,
If you want to,
it's-
you go ahead.
Generally, like, it's just like running a small business, you know, for the most part. It's difficult and it changes all the time. It's a very volatile environment to be in, but I've been working in it since 2007 when I first started on YouTube, and I started making money within a year of being on YouTube, and that was through, they didn't even have like a creator fund or AdSense or anything like that on YouTube at that point, but we were able to like do one-off deals with different companies that were like just starting to figure stuff out. So it was such an early stage. And then that's just evolved over the years to become more and more. And it's not just like one thing or one income source. Like, we have Instagram and YouTube and TikTok.
And they're all different, I assume, at how they pay you and what their metrics are.
Totally. But the vast majority of the income comes from advertisers. So when you see ads, paid partnerships on Instagram, TikTok, etc., like that is going to be your bread and butter for income.
I was going to say, the platform itself is not where you make most or much income at all, unless you are like Mr. Beast on YouTube and every single video hits like 20 million views or whatever.
He just opened up his first brick and mortar literally 5 minutes down the road from me.
Yeah.
At the American Dream Mall. Yeah.
Because then you're making like, $20,000 per video.
Yeah.
And so if all of your videos are hitting like 20 million views,
Then you're making a
then
ton
obviously
of
you're
money.
making, then that is obviously a significant source of income. But like not a lot of people can hit like millions and millions of views on every single video that they have.
Right.
TikTok's even, it's variable. the creator fund, again, if you're hitting millions and millions of views, can be somewhat significant, but it still pales in comparison to essentially I think of it as like real estate that advertisers purchase to put on your platform. So I think of it as like think of it as like a billboard or like Times Square. Like it's going to be way more expensive to put your billboard in front of a bunch of people in Times Square than it is like in the middle of Iowa, right? On like a highway. So, and that's just like how many eyes you have,
And
so
I think it's difficult because you're navigating this really unpredictable algorithm and it's changing all the time, no matter like what social media platform you're on, it is just changing all the time. So it's very hard to kind of like adjust from that, but it's like putting stuff out, having to pivot, putting stuff out, having to pivot. Like, you're constantly producing and putting your life out there for people, but
When does it tip over from business into fun or fun into business?
I think it has a little bit of both.
there's fun moments.
So like, some of it is kind of like strictly business, but then sometimes you get to work with brands that you're actually like, that are like really fun to work with, and you're like kind of excited that they reached out to you. Some of the travel opportunities, I think for us, like some have been kind of very businessy and like we just sort of like went through it, and then some have been like just
So
the most
incredibly
amazing
fun.
experience that
Yeah.
we've ever had in our life. And so it just really ebbs and flows.
As a couple, have you ever traveled sheerly for pleasure with your phones completely off?
No.
Never off. But for pleasure, yes, but phone's never off.
Right.
Which then means not for pleasure, because then we're documenting stuff. We're documenting stuff to like post on Instagram and TikTok. And
Okay, so going from social media, you're going to have a kid. I believe very wholeheartedly by 2023, at the end of 2023, you guys are going to be pregnant. So in 2024,
thank you.
you're going to have a kid. Do you anticipate absorbing them into your current kind of social media world, or do you think it will change, or do you not want to have them a part of that?
That is such a kind of a tricky question that I've actually listened to a lot of creators talk about on like different podcasts or on their social media. And I think that there's a way, I think most immediately, and to be fair, we haven't like, laid out like a plan of like how we would do this. Cause a lot of times we just sort of like take it as it comes. And if it feels natural or right or like, good, then we'll
Then we
share
flow
it.
with it.
We're pretty transparent people, but obviously like just throwing our child's face on our social media like 24/7 is probably, obviously not the plan. I think in the most immediate sense, we would more talk about our experience like as parents and, like what that's like. And I also have like a pretty big, like I love educating. If I know something, I like educating other people on it. And we have like great friends and family members who are like child development specialists. So I definitely could see part of our social media sort of like branching off into just that, like, hey, this is what kids do or think, or this is how their brain is growing at this time.
Well, you guys just started a new podcast right last month.
Look at that.
Yeah,
You,
exactly.
you guys talk about families. Tell us about your podcast that you just released.
Yeah, so Who's Your Daddy is a podcast.
Genius title.
There's a long
Genius.
list of them for me, but continue.
About non-traditional paths to parenthood. So surrogacy, IVF, adoption, foster to adopt, IUI, all the things.
Theft.
Theft.
Theft. Just grab a baby.
Amazon
God.
delivery.
No.
I have not thought about this.
Wait,
but
can I tell you a
wonder.
story I've told on the podcast before? But when I went to
Yeah.
Iceland, people told me that people would just leave their babies in the strollers outside the restaurants when they would go in, and I was like, "You're lying. You're like maybe they're not as
That's
close to the
insane to
table."
me. Yeah.
I went to Iceland, and there are just strollers on the street with
With babies in them?
free babies,
You're
free babies
kidding.
outside, and people inside. So if you need a baby last minute,
Immediately
just
booking a
hop
trip
on
to
into.
Iceland.
They leave babies
immediately.
outside like they like
I've
dogs.
I've always wanted to go to Iceland, and
What?
if I can get a baby,
Free
then,
babies,
like,
free babies in
know?
Iceland.
Wait,
two
why
birds
do
with one
they
stone.
do that just what?
because it's so safe.
Do they just go
'Cause they're
inside and have
trusting.
like a
Yeah.
nice brunch?
Yes,
with
so they don't get
childless?
ruined. So it's not ruined.
Literally people inside eating by themselves while their infants are outside. Also, my friend who is from Sweden said when she would cry in the middle of the night, her mom would just put her in her stroller and wheel her out to like the courtyard of the apartment building they lived in, and then she would go upstairs and go back to sleep. Because the cold air, the cold air would like calm her down. But she was like wrapped up and stuff. But it's just culturally different. Like nobody steals babies there, which is why you guys should go. They're not expecting
I would love to go.
No.
We had a similar, not to.
And
go-
if you get arrested, I heard the prisons are really nice in Iceland.
They're super
and
nice,
Sweden,
and they all
so-
have steam rooms and like saunas and stuff. Yeah,
You're
Have you
given
been-
your own cell phone. The dudes are no doubt hot, and the security guards. Come on.
Have you
It
ever
sounds
been
like
to?
a win-win?
Have you ever been to Japan?
no.
One of the craziest things that I remember about Japan is that we're all in the subway. We are shoulder to shoulder. And then all of a sudden, this little, like, she had to have been 8 years old, little girl with a pink backpack walks on right after school, headphones on, just walks in by herself and just like sits on the train. And I'm like, where's the adult? Where's the adult? Like, where's the adult? There's no adult. There's no adult. 8-year-old kids can ride the subway safely in Japan. And that to me was insane.
Yeah, the difference in the cultures where they
amazing.
I think in Japan they all consider all children everyone's responsibility. So they, but
What a
not
thought.
here.
Collectively decided.
And well, what other along that line? I'm sure you've thought a lot about what you've learned about parenting during your travels. Do you have other bits of wisdom that you can share with us from anywhere from Tampa to Nairobi?
Oh my gosh. I think one thing that I have noticed is that like going different places in the world, and you obviously see a lot of different socioeconomic situations. And I feel like in a lot of situations where you would see them as having less, you see kids with bigger smiles on their faces, and they're outside more, and they're just like exploring and like doing things on their own.
That's true. There's something to say about
You know what I mean?
minimalism.
So I
when
think
it comes to kids having a good time and using their imagination and having fun. So I've seen that, in countries all around the world, and it seems like the you don't need to have all these super fancy toys, electronics, gadgets, things like that, and the kids can be super super happy just playing outside. And I don't know how exactly to approach a parenting technique that could parallel that here in the US, because we're surrounded by technology, materialism, etc. So it's really hard. I don't know. I feel like that's a very difficult thing to do here.
Yeah, and I've also thought about it considering like, obviously we are very front facing on the internet, and
Gavin is usually back facing, but that's a different thing. Continue.
and so trying to figure out a way that how are we going to balance, not having our kids obsessed with screens and phones, but also like continue to document and can have a healthy environment
That's
around
going to be
it.
something
So
very
I think that's going to be
interesting to navigate.
interesting to navigate. Yeah.
And I would imagine also, injecting my own opinion about the influencership there, is that if you go down a path where you are suddenly ambassadors for baby companies who are all going to be absolutely after you, then you're suddenly like getting a bunch of shit, which, by the way, David's and my unsolicited advice is you don't need any
You need
of it.
nothing.
And so then you guys,
nothing.
here's your challenge is like, do you go down the path of selling shit that is almost none of it is actually necessary? Furthermore, you're just you're spending more money, you're burdening your kid, yourselves with just like accumulation of stuff. When in reality, you guys have seen firsthand, it is about the minimalism and just like
Right.
simpling it down.
Man,
Well, way to bring
That-
it down, Gavin.
it's like how
That's what I'm here
do
for. And let's talk about some gay shit. Where are the hottest guys in all of your travels? And where's the gayest country you've ever visited?
Oh, this is really good.
The
This
gayest
is really good.
country.
The gay.
Ooh.
Well, the hottest guys.
Spain?
Oh, yeah, ish. I don't know. So the first country I visited outside the U.S. was Sweden, because I had the hardest crush on a Swedish man who
I think
Pause between the two
biggest
words were a
crush.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Biggest
Yeah,
crush.
biggest
The
crush.
hardest.
Well, it was also very hard.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Difficult. It was difficult because he was straight, and I had
That
on
old
him.
story. Yeah.
yeah. And I decided like, he was an exchange student. He was going back to Sweden after a year in the U.S. And I was like, oh, well, you're my best friend. I'm going to go with you and just spend time together in Sweden. And
Shower together. Yeah. Just a little bit.
exactly. But yeah, so he was straight, not interested in me, was not a great time.
Did you figure that out in Stockholm, like after you got out of the airplane or on the plane
I knew,
over?
and I was like heavily in the closet.
I'll change
and was
him.
like, I'm like, yeah, I was kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It was a bad
literally that is the
situation.
tale as old as time. We all have to go through that straight crush where in our heads are like, maybe they're like questioning, or maybe I can get them there. No,
That was my first experience abroad, and there's just something about Swedish men that like was ingrained in my mind.
I mean,
I'm
is
like,
that not the Heartstopper fantasy, right? It's like
100%,
it's like-
100%.
like open gay kid and then like rugby star, right?
Yep.
It's totally
Something
there.
is awakened in the rugby
Yes,
star,
exactly.
and
I
it's
I mean,
just
I was
you.
18. We were playing soccer outside every day, shirtless with all his friends. Like, I was, oh my God.
like living the dream, but also like the most angsty
It was so
teenager.
angsty and bad. I
Like,
was
love it.
like overwhelmed.
it's amazing. But I think I actually do remember. I feel like when we were in Portugal, was it Portugal? We were walking around,
Holy
and I don't know.
crap.
Portugal's not a very big country.
That is a good point,
like
Michael.
every time we were just
What is
walking
in the
around and we were
water?
like, what is happening here?
I'd like
Portugal
to
had the
retract
most
my former
attractive
statement
men.
about Sweden. Portugal wins.
Yeah,
I
what
remember
the
living in the
hate?
Czech Republic, and everywhere I walked, I was like, "Are you Bellamy? Are you on Bellamy? Are you on Bellamy? Are you on Bellamy?" Yeah, definitely that.
I also
Yeah.
felt incredibly self-conscious walking around Portugal because I'm like, I am just an ugly. I was like, holy crap! I felt so incompetent.
One of my first jobs when I moved to New York City was like I had to usher New York Fashion Week, and I had to like block backstage so I could see all these models walking in, and I was like, I hate myself. Like I hate myself. These people are walking in here and they look like $1 million. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming by. Our time is up, but everyone out there, please subscribe to their new podcast, which is
Yes.
called
Who's your
Who's Your
daddy?
Daddy?
Who's Your Daddy? And obviously
Excellent.
follow them on all the socials. And I think by the end of this year, you guys are going to be pregnant. So I'm very excited for you guys. So fingers crossed for
Fingers
you.
crossed.
Can we have a part 2?
Yeah, we'll bring you guys
after
back
birth?
when you're pregnant.
So my something great is what's getting me through the summer and frankly getting me through my life and parenting, and that is bribery. I just go back and forth constantly trying to say no to my kids and their utter addiction to screen time, and I just bribe them by saying, you got to read. You got to read half an hour and you can earn another 15 minutes of screen time. It is so tough to stick to that, but bribery, that's my something great. How about you, David?
Mine is extortion. No, I'm kidding. So my something great is actually Drag Queen Story Hour, which, as we know, was the hot button issue last month with Pride. But and obviously, I totally support drag queens and Story Hour, and all the bullshit is bullshit. So, but I actually had never been to one.
Oh.
I had seen them on YouTube. I understood what they were, but I had never actually been to one. So
Like 99% of the population and the people
Totally.
who hate it who have never been to it.
correct. So, so I'm also a hypocrite, just like they are. So anyway, so last month during our local town's Pride, they had a drag queen named Harmonica Sunbeam, which number one, great name.
Totally.
And she came to do Drag Queen Story Hour. And the Pride is all in like one park, and there's like one band shell where all the performances happen. And we just happened to be walking by when she started reading. So we're like, oh, let's sit down. So my 3.5-year-old and my 1-year-old, and my husband and we all sat down and we watched her read. Gavin, it was fucking great.
Yeah.
It was great. She was so funny. And she did the thing where like she'd, read a page of the book, and then what about you kids? Have you ever wanted to have a pet? And kids would like scream. And she's like, yeah, like it was so wonderful. And it was just, she was wearing a big muumuu and this like clown wig. And I was like, what is the problem here?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I fucking reached out to her and I was like, you were great. What's your Venmo? I want to tip you. And I
Nice.
tipped her $20 because I was like, listen,
That was worth it.
You did this probably voluntarily. You were great. I hate that you're having to deal with all the bullshit you're dealing with.
Nice.
So I was like, here's fucking $20. So anyway,
dude.
my something great, Drag Queen Story Hour with Harmonica Sunbeam.
And that is our show. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general compliments, you can email us at gatriarchspodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at Gatriarchs Podcast. On the internet, David is at David FM Vaughn everywhere, and Gavin is at Gavin Lodge on Pornhub.
Please leave us a glowing 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Gatriarchs.
Let's see just how much you know about parenting. Okay. Will your kids watch TV?
Yes.
Will they have iPads?
Eventually.
Yes, eventually.
Will they be allowed to have chicken nuggets?
No.
Yes.
Are they going to sleep in your bed with you?
No.
Not often.
Will you text when you're sitting playing with them?
No.
No.
Do you think
Unless
you're
I
gonna
have to.
Do you think you're going to get bored?
Yes.
No.
What's the first solid food they're going to eat?
Sweet
Sushi.
potato.
Will you be heating bottles?
Yes.
Yes.
For the last question, will you allow a drag queen to read a book to them?
Yes. Hello.
Of course.